Hello everyone, welcome back to Certain Moments channel. I'm Jolima and today I will talk about the highlights of 2019. So this year it's almost finishing, so I think it's about time to talk about the best and the worst of my fragrance journey of this year. Well, talking about fragrance journey, shout out to Fragrance Journey, a very good friend of mine. He's a YouTuber, fragrance reviewer. I'll leave his link of his channel down below. Fantastic guy. He loves his animalic fragrances, so I'll leave his link down below. Shout out to you, my friend. Now, because the year it's almost finishing, so like I told you, I will talk about the best and the worst part of my fragrance journey during this year. So I have here 10 nominations. I have here the best release of 2019. I have the best discovery niche fragrance, just like the best discovery designer fragrance of this year, of course. I have also a nomination for the proudest purchase or the best purchase of this year. Also, the most worn fragrance of 2019, the worst fragrance experience of this year, the biggest fail of 2019, the most disappointing experience of 2019, brand of the year, and indie brand of the year. So I have here 10 nominations. I will leave the nominations in the description box down below. So let's get into it. The best release of 2019. This was hard. And disclaimer, this is a niche fragrance. I will get to the designers a bit later. So this is a niche fragrance. It was quite hard. I wanted to choose between two fragrances, but well, I think the nomination goes for this one. It's from the house of Nishane, and it is Annie. What a outstanding vanilla fragrance. I already did a review of Annie. I will leave the link here so you can check that video out. Oh man, this is so delicious, so addictive. This has lemon and ginger right in the top. It's quite citrusy, effervescent, and uplifting, very natural smelling. And then you have the vanilla as a prominent note, followed by ambergris and sandalwood. Benzoin also. What a fantastic vanilla fragrance. Definitely one of the best vanilla fragrances out there, and it's my top 5 vanilla fragrance. Nishane Annie, created by Cécile Zoropian, fantastic perfumeur, and of course Annie by Nishane. Nishane is also one of my favorite niche brands. Annie, it's fantastic, deserves this nomination. It has the best release of 2019. Now, the next nomination for the best discovery designer fragrance is Zadig and Voltaire. This is him. What a discovery, guys. This fragrance, it's so good, so mysterious, dark. It's sensual. It screams date night situations, to be honest. Zadig and Voltaire, this is him. This was released back in 2016, and since then I ignored this fragrance because I was just expecting something either sweet bubblegummy fragrance like the Invictus or 1 Million, or then this would be like a blue fragrance like Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, YSLY. I mean, the list goes on. So I was very I was expecting that it would be smelling like one of those categories, so I dismissed this fragrance. But thank God that I finally tried this one this year, because it's outstanding. You have incense, you have sandalwood, you have spice in here, you have a touch of vanilla. It's a creamy, incensey, spicy fragrance. Wow, outstanding. The best discovery designer fragrance is definitely This Is Him by Zadig & Voltaire. Now, the best discovery niche fragrance goes to, this one was very hard. I tried a lot of niche fragrances. I purchased a lot of niche fragrances during this year. It was hard to pick up just one. I was between two fragrances, but well, before I get into it, this was a fragrance from the house of Note di Profumo. It is Amante. this one right here. This is a recent acquisition of mine. This is like a sub-brand or a line of Profumum Roma Amante. It's outstanding. You have oud as a prominent note. Oh man, you have lavender. I think you have also jasmine of other floral notes in here. Amazing. I will soon do a review of Amante by Notte di Profumo. Definitely the best discovery of this year in terms of niche fragrances was between this one or Ensemble Mythique by Guerlain, which was also an outstanding discovery. You know how much I love that one and how much I wore that one during the summertime, but this time I went to Amante because totally blew my mind. So the best discovery niche fragrance goes to Amante by Notte di Profumo. Now the nomination for the proudest purchase of 2019 or the best purchase of 2019 goes to Ambra Aurea by Profumum Roma. You guys already know how much I love this one. Always smiling when I smell this one. I already did a review of Ambra Aurea, one of the best purchases, the best purchase of 2019 definitely, but again I wanted to choose between Ambra Aurea or Rose Gold and Amber Gold by Sergioff. Very expensive fragrances that I proudly have in my collection, but this one takes the cake because I wanted to add this fragrance to my collection for over a year. So I'm so happy to finally have this one, and I don't know, I think I even have a intimate connection with this fragrance for some reason. This has amber, it has ambergris, it has myrrh. It's addictive, it's balsamic, it's resinous, it's a masterpiece. The best amber for me, at least. It's Ambra Aurea by Profumum Roma, the proudest purchase of 2019. Now the nomination for the most worn fragrance of 2019 goes to, from the house of Sergioff, Renaissance. This one right here. You can see how much I already wore this one, although I gave a couple of mLs to a very good friend of mine, but nonetheless I wore this to the max. Featured on my top 10 spring fragrances, it was my number one, and this one is outstanding. Oh, so good. You have mint. For me, the mint here, it's the best mint that I ever came across. So natural smelling, green and effervescent. You also have one of the best openings actually in terms of citrusy openings. You have a melange of citrusy notes. You have lemon, you have mandarin orange, you have orange. It's so good, so natural smelling. Again, you have woody notes, you have floral notes in here also, and the performance, it's outstanding. For a fresh fragrance, actually has a fresh fragrance, this has the best performance in my entire collection. Renaissance by Sergioff, and it's also quite appealing, was my most worn fragrance of 2019, standing. Now the nomination for the worst fragrance experience, and it's quite recent. I recorded a video about that fragrance. It's Calan by Parfum de Marly. Awful fragrance. I mean, terrible fragrance. A sweet, synthetic, woody mess. You saw the video, terrible experience. That scent character doesn't go with my skin. It even went to my mouth. I don't know how come that happened. After that video, I had a headache. So it was a terrible, awful experience. The worst experience of 2019, definitely. Definitely Calan doesn't suit me. It's not my taste. I think it's truly a bad fragrance, to my nose at least. So the nomination is well deserved. Now let's go for the next nomination, the biggest fail of 2019. And here, guys, now it's the time that I will talk about designer releases. The biggest fail of 2019 for me, it's designer releases in general, as a whole, because there's not even one not even a single fragrance, designer fragrance, that I can say this is the best release of 2019. This is unique, this is dark, or this is somewhat high quality fragrance, something different. No. All fragrances, designer fragrances of 2019 either smell like blue fragrances or just smell like 1 Million or Invictus. Simply as that. You just have one brand, one fragrance brand that is trying to do things different, and it's Gucci. Although I give kudos for them to try to make things different, trying to release different type of designer fragrances, but the quality of their scents are not great. You have Gucci Guilty Cologne, which I don't know what the hell was that. I mean, I think they tried to do a fresh take of Gucci Guilty Absolute, but I think it went terribly wrong. And then you have Mémoire d'une Odeur, which is the marketing itself. I think it's bad. What is a genderless fragrance? Either it's unisex or not. I mean, I think all fragrances are unisex, so I don't know the reason to be genderless. But well, I don't want to go further into that subject. But the scent inside, it's different from you are used to smell nowadays, but it's a plasticky chamomile, fresh, watery fragrance. Doesn't appeal to me at all. So that's why any fragrance from Gucci's released this year at least didn't appeal to me, and the rest of designer brands are just a mess. They all want to try to smell the same, and it's sad. It's really sad because I love my designer fragrances. As you see, I love Zadig & Voltaire, this is him. And it's sad to see how designer perfumery is falling apart. So, biggest fail of 2019 designer releases. Now, the most disappointing experience of 2019, this is also very sad, goes to L'Air des Alpes Suisses by Andy Tower. I love Andy Tower in the first place. I love L'Air du Désert Marocain, a masterpiece, a timeless masterpiece. Une Rose de Kandahar, also outstanding rose fragrance. Au Cœur du Désert, the list goes on. L'Air des Alpes Suisses. I was expecting, of course I was not expecting a L'Air du Désert Marocain type of scent, but actually I was expecting a fresh version of L'Air du Désert Marocain, a fresh icy version, and that got me very interested, very curious, and very excited with high expectations, because after all it's an Andy Tower fragrance. I got this over chemically lemon pledge with somewhat floral mossy notes in there. Just went terrible on my skin, very disappointed. L'Air des Alpes Suisses, I was expecting another masterpiece, but just went terribly wrong, unfortunately. So that's why it's the most disappointing experience of 2019. Now, indie brand of the year. And here I need to nominate Miguel Macho perfumes. Of course he's Portuguese, and me as a Portuguese I want to support him because we don't have Portuguese perfumeurs, and what Miguel is doing, it's outstanding. I don't know if you already heard about him, but I think some of you already do. He's a Fragrantica blogger. He writes articles about perfumes, and he launched his own brand. Recently he released 4 new fragrances in his new line, which I'm very curious to try. I already did a review of Miracle of Roses and Sailor Stories, 2 outstanding fragrances, and it's been a very busy year for him. He already did, I think, 3 or 4 fragrance lines for Bruno Acampora. He did a fragrance for Nishané, Una Tamam, if I'm not mistaken, which is one of the most daring fragrances, and I absolutely love that fragrance. It's on my wish list. He's making fragrances for Sarah Baker Perfumes, and it's been an outstanding year for Miguel. So of course, Miguel Mach Perfumes, it's definitely the indie brand of the year. Now the brand of the year goes to Guerlain. It's been the year of Guerlain for me. What a olfactory experience. I've been diving into Guerlain during this year from their more oldest releases like Chalimard de Parfum, Mitsuko, Habit Rouge, Héritage, to their more exclusive lines from Les Absolus d'Orient especially. I love Ensemble Mythique, Bois Mystérieux, Cuir Intense, Santal Royal also, Musk Noble, it's also terrific for rose fragrance. Their L'Art et Matière collection, it's also outstanding. Tonk Impérial, Angélique Noire. I mean, it's been a terrific year for me by discovering Guerlain fragrances, and it's quickly becoming my favorite brand. So that's why Guerlain takes the nomination for the best brand of the year. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below how was your fragrance journey during this year, and according to the nominations that I made, tell me yours. I'm very curious to see them. Let's have a conversation and see you in the next video. Take care guys. Ciao.